Let's talk about something that, on the surface, makes absolutely no sense. We're looking at Rio Tinto, one of the biggest mining giants on the planet. And right now, their diamond business is in a really weird spot. They're making more money than ever, but they're also losing millions. How on earth is that even possible? Well, let's dig in.
So this is the big question, right? It's the core of the paradox. You see a 19% jump in revenue. You expect profits, celebrations, the whole nine yards. Instead, you see massive losses. It feels like it breaks the basic laws of business. But stick with me, because we're about to unravel this thing piece by piece. All right, so every good mystery starts with the clues. Let's look at the numbers that just don't seem to add up. Okay, clue number one. In 2025, Rio Tinto's revenue from diamonds shot up by a really impressive 19%. That brings their total haul to $332 million. I mean, from the outside looking in, you see a number like that and you think, wow, business is booming. And it gets even crazier. At the same time their revenue is climbing, the actual number of diamonds they were pulling from the earth just exploded. We're talking a 61% increase, hitting 4.4 million carats. So more sales and way more diamonds. They've got to be rolling in it, right? So you'd think so. It seems like a slam dunk. If sales are up and production is through the roof, profit should be too. But this is where the story takes a very weird turn, because that's not what happened at all. To figure this out, we've got to pop the hood and look at the engine. It's time to dig into the company's financials, because our next big clue is hiding right there in the balance sheet. Now hang on. Before we get to the next number, we need to quickly talk about a term you hear a lot in business, EBITDA. Don't worry, this is simple. Just think of it as a way to measure how profitable the basic, day-to-day running of a business is, before all the fancy accounting and tax stuff gets factored in. It's the raw, operational score. And boom, here's the number that blows this case wide open. Even with all that extra cash coming in, Rio Tinto's diamond division posted an underlying EBITDA loss of $79 million. Let that sink in. They're actively losing money just on their core operations of mining and selling diamonds. But wait, just when you think you've got a handle on it, the plot thickens. Yes, they lost money, but they actually lost less money than the year before. The loss shrank from a whopping $115 million down to $79 million. So how can things be getting better and worse at the exact same time? It's confusing, right? To solve that, we have to ask a different question. Where did that giant 61% flood of new diamonds even come from? Well, for the answer, we have to travel way up north, into the remote territories of Canada. This is it. The source of that production boom is the Diavik mine. It's this incredible operation located deep in the Canadian Arctic, and it's actually Rio Tinto's one and only diamond mine left. So what's the secret sauce behind that insane 61% jump? Well, that all comes down to a specific part of this mine called the A21 deposit. As you can see, it's a newer underground section they started ramping up near the end of 2024. And this part of the mine is just incredibly productive. It's yielding a much higher volume of diamonds, and it is pretty much the single reason for that massive surge in output. But here's the thing. This huge boom, it's not the beginning of a new chapter for the mine. It's actually the final page. This incredible surge is a signal that the end is coming, and it's coming very fast. And this timeline? Well, it puts everything into perspective. You see, Rio Tinto has been getting out of the diamond game for a while now. They closed their famous Argyle mine back in 2020. This recent production spike at Diavik, it's the mine's last big hurrah before it's scheduled to be closed down for good. And this is the absolute key to the whole mystery. That part of the mine, the A21 deposit that's pumping out all those diamonds, it's the last part. They're pulling out every last accessible carat. It's like a massive everything must go sale right before they shut the doors for good. And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important piece of the puzzle. It's a number so big that it makes all the other figures look tiny, and it's the number that finally explains the loss. $1 billion. Just let that number hang in the air for a second. That's roughly what Rio Tinto expects to spend this year alone just on closure activities. And we're not talking about just flipping a switch and walking away. This is the staggering cost of taking the whole thing apart, of restoring the land back to what it was, and of monitoring the environment for years to make sure it recovers properly. And when you put it all side by side like this, it finally clicks. That impressive $332 million in revenue,
It gets absolutely swallowed by the enormous $1 billion price tag of shutting the whole operation down responsibly. And you don't have to take my word for it. The company itself says it plainly. The mine has reached its end of life. See, this isn't a business failure. It's a planned conclusion. The financial loss isn't because of bad sales. It's the budgeted, necessary cost of closing up shop. So, there you have it. The paradox is solved. Rio Tinto isn't losing money because the diamond business is bad. It's losing money because it's paying the immense, pre-planned cost of cleaning up. It's a pretty powerful reminder that for every beautiful thing we pull out of the ground, there's a bill that sooner or later is going to come due, which really leaves us with one final thought. What is the true cost of the sparkle?